We made mosque today. Yes.
Hello, Bobby. How are you? Thank you so much. Thank you. Mommy, I bet photograph and
Is it not up there with us?
Yes, ma'am.
I
will ready, sir.
valedictory lecture of the University of Benin. The lecturer for today is the very gentle, affable, and cerebral professor of physical education, Professor EMMANUEL OHIUYA, OJEME. Please put your hands together. The topic of lecture is exploring the epistemological and occupational metamorphosis of physical education, reflections on needed curriculum reforms. That certainly is a mouthful. Please put your hands together again for the lecturer. As I now invite the registrar, Mr. Ademola Bobola, represented by the Deputy Registrar, St. Martin's, Mr. Monde Oye, to introduce the Vice Chancellor and the Vice Chancellor's procession. Representative of the Registrar.
I welcome you all to the 6th valedictory lecture in the series of this great University of Benin. The registrar of this great university, Mr. Ademola Bobola, is away from the university on official assignment and asked me to stand in his stead. Permit me, therefore, to stand on the already established protocol by the public relations officer of this great university and to introduce the Vice Chancellor's procession. Today, the Vice Chancellor's procession is led by our amiable Vice Chancellor and leader par excellence, the chairperson, Committee of Vice Chancellors of other principal officers and academic leaders who have also distinguished themselves in their various steps of endeavor are as follows. We have Professor Mrs. Catherine Upon, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Administration. We have the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic, Professor Ray I. Osoba. We have the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Kewa Campus, Professor B.A. Ayinde. We have the professor of this great university, Dr. V.U. Emmanuel. Professor W.E. Sadu. Dean, School of Postgraduate Studies. Ably represented today by Dr. S.A. Aliu. We have the Dean of Students, Professor A.C. Ibudari. We have the host Dean for today's occasion, the Dean Faculty of Education, Professor K.O. Omoluyuma. We have the Dean Faculty of Arts, Professor L.C. Newman. Dean School of Dentistry, Professor F.O. Omolidi. Dean Faculty of Environmental Sciences, Professor Raphael Eigato. We have the Dean Faculty of Management Sciences, Professor A. Inofe. We have the Dean School of Medicine, Professor W. Usarogiato. Dean Faculty of Pharmacy, Professor A. Okpara. Dean Faculty of Physical Sciences, Professor J. E. Oterega. We have the Dean Faculty of Social Sciences, Professor B. A. Tonwe. We have the Director of the Distance Learning Program, Professor C. O. Emokaro. We have the Director of Center for Education and Technology, Professor H. O.I.N. Director of Intellectual Property and Technology Transfer Office, Professor A.E. Ukwebu. Acting Director, Institute of Education, Dr. Mrs. I.F. We have the Director, Acting Director, Institute of Public Admin and Extension Services, Dr. E.O. Orato. And last, we have the Acting Director, Student Guidance and Counseling Unit, Dr. Mrs. O.N.I.D. And finally, we have the Director of Sports, Professor David Amonao.
You are most welcome. Professor Mo-Wandiani, you are an elder of that faculty. Oh, I didn't see my daddy there, Professor Obieh. It's because you now look like those from the other side. So I didn't recognize you. You are most welcome, sir. The Faculty of Education, the great faculty. You are all welcome. We cannot emphasize the importance of valedictory lecture. You can see the almost seeming apathy in the attendance of valedictory. It's not a popular lecture for this university because it has not been the tradition. But it is the rightful thing to do. When you become a professor, we expect you to give your inaugural. Tell us what you want to profess. And then when you are bowing out, you should tell us how you have succeeded in professing. And that is the essence of valedictory lecture. So we hope that those who are dyeing their hair, who are almost close to leaving, must give their valedictory lecture. Otherwise, we will not attend your send-off parties. So please take that home to your different faculties or to your friends. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to the 6th in the valedictory lecture series of this great university, University of Benin. Today is the 2nd to be delivered in my tenure as the Vice Chancellor of this university. I'm also pleased to inform you that the students are on break in order to participate in the ongoing elections, and school will reopen on the 14th of March 2023. The academic board of most faculties have met and considered lower level results. I want to most sincerely thank the staff of this university for their commitment to the growth and development of this great institution. It's not been an easy year, but it is because you are so dedicated to your job that is why we are where we are today. So most sincerely, I want to thank you again. For those who are not here, please convey my most appreciation to them. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the valedictory lecturer for today. He is Professor Reflections on Needed Curriculum Reforms. Professor OJEME was born on the 8th of March, 1953 in Ekuku Abo, Ikaboko government area of Delta State, to the family of Mr. Alexander OJEME and Mrs. Janet OJEME, the Odia of Ozalogogo at Ekuku Abo. He attended St. Louis Primary School, Ekuku Abo from 1960 to 1965, where he obtained his first school leaving certificate. He had his secondary school at St. George's Grammar School, Obinoba, from 1966 to 1970, where he had his West African school certificates. He thereafter gained admission to Edu College University, where he had his higher school certificate in 1972. He was admitted into the University of Ife in 1973 and graduated in 1976 with a BSc second-class upper division in physical education. After his mandatory National Youth Service Corps at Comprehensive High School, Ayeto, Ogun State, from 1976 to 77, he proceeded for his PhD program in physical education at Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, which he completed in 1981. He became the first
to be awarded PhD in physical education by a Nigerian university. Professor OJEME joined the services of the University of Benin in the Department of Physical Education as a graduate assistant in 1977 and rose through the ranks to the position of a full professor in 2000. His primary research focus has been in the area of program and human research development and pedagogy in physical education and sports. He also has interest in the sociology and politics of sports. And he has held several administrative positions within and outside the University of Benin, some of which include project team leader on assessment, reassessment, and repositioning of the National Institute of Sports. Head, committee to develop the framework for the establishment of Delta State Sports Technology and Sports Academy, Delta State Sports Commission. Director of Sports, University of Benin, 1992 to 1995. Member, Presidential Advisory Committee on Sports, development of blueprints on sports in Nigeria in 2007. Member, Federal Government's delegation to all African Games. Member, Federal Government delegation to Ghana on all African Games in 2011. Member, Nigeria Boxing Federation, which is still a member till date. Member, Committee to develop full blueprints for sports development in Edo States. Member, Vision 2020 Technical Working Committee on Sports. Exam Officer in Physical Education. Chairman, Faculty of Education Research and Publication Committee. And then the Provost, Delta State College of Physical Education, Mososa, from 2015 to 2020. Professor OJEME has served as a resource person to National Universities Commission, NUC. He has over 70 publications in local and international journals and has also written 8 books. He has supervised 10 master's students and 9 PhD students, some of whom are already professors in their own right. He has served as external examiner and external professorial assessor to several universities within and outside the country. Professor OJEME belongs to several professional bodies and associations, such as he is the president the Nigerian Association of Physical Health Education and Recreation, Sports and Dance. He is also a member of the International Society for Comparative and Physical Education and Sports, and also a member of Nigerian Education Research Association. Professor OJEME is happily married to the wife, Dr. Mrs. Agatha.
These and directors we represent, Deputy Registrar Syndic Matters, who is the great facilitator of this lecture. Professor Will here, Professor Emeritus now, distinguished family members we represent, colleagues, some students who are here, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I stand before you with humility but with a great sense of responsibility to deliver the sixth validatory lecture of the great University of Benin. I feel very humbled, and this lecture, as you have been told, is titled Exploring the Epistemological and Occupational Metamorphosis of Physical Education, Reflections on Needed Curriculum Reforms. This validatory lecture has been partly inspired by my experiences in primary, secondary, higher education, and even the university system, where physical education was largely regarded as sports and games, and tangential to the instructional school curriculum, but only taking as good enough for prophylaxis after rigorous academic work. And it is not difficult to understand the genesis of this development because it is conceivable that as the Nigerian educational system was originally inherited from the British colonial system, it is unarguable or considerable that this former educational curriculum must have likely been a replica of the British system, where physical education at this period in history was also more of sports and games. So, arising from this historical background, and with the experience of physical education as sports and games, it was discriminated against, as I said before. And but this fact that physical education activities is sports and games, and tangential in terms of this capacity to contribute to the educational development of the individual is more of a fallacy, because although physical education is activity-based, but we also know that whenever man engages in any activity, he engages in the activity as a holistic organism, where there is an integration of body, mind, spirit, and attitude. From this understanding, therefore, it is not difficult to see that whereas physical education is activity-based, it is not just only physical activity in that. Therefore, physical education impact would not be limited to physical activities. With this development, the concept of physical education as education of the physical and education through the physical became prominent. And since whether physical education as physical education or education through the physical, the common denomination in both nomenclatures is education. Therefore, we ask the question, what is education? Previously, as I have indicated here, education was seen as any experience that can contribute to the cognitive development of the individual. But we have seen that this is a fallacy, that man is a holistic organism. Therefore, whenever we speak of education, we must see it in terms of the totality of its impact, including the physical education experiences. And this is the turning point in the development of physical education. It is inevitable at this juncture that even if physical education uses the modality of activity experiences to achieve its educational goals, the affective domain. And with this understanding, as physical education as education through the physical, and as an area of education that contributes to the totality of the development of human beings, as in any other subject area, and with applications to life in society, we must review our perception or understanding of physical education as an education-based discipline of knowledge that contributes to the totality of the individual and with applications to life in society. At this juncture, therefore, it is our responsibility to dig deeper and begin to search out what is the, because any educational activity must also be knowledge-based. And therefore, if physical education can contribute to psychomotor, to the affective and knowledge development of the individual, we must therefore endeavor to seek out the knowledge-based component of this activity-based discipline in education. And with this development, we were able to tease out the fact that the concept of physical education must be viewed as an activity-based educational experience that is also extended to finding out the purposes for engagement in those activities, as well as the knowledge that makes those activities comprehensible, the reason why of it. And from this extrapolation, we have therefore arrived at the growth juncture where physical education is not just physical activity, but a knowledge-based discipline that is aimed at unraveling the purposes for human movement experiences, the factors influencing or constraining human movement experiences. Ladies and gentlemen, Madam Vice Chancellor, you will agree with me that with this more elastic to engage in activity, they say it's a sportsman. A sportsman has a reason for doing those things, and he has a purpose, and he has an attitude towards it. All these determine the extent of his or her participation in activities. Therefore, it is not difficult to understand that physical education is a knowledge-based discipline. And to move forward, what is a discipline of knowledge? Ladies and gentlemen, those who have studied epistemology and applied it to physical, a discipline of knowledge, to be a unified if we are doing those experiences and the applications to life in society. This framework gives us the elasticity to elaborate more on the disciplinary base of physical education. It is taking that movement remains the focus of the educational activity or the source of understanding the body of knowledge. But it doesn't stop there. It goes on to find out what are the different forms of human movement. There are different forms of movement activities. You have those we know as force and games. There are rules, tactics, and skills of engagement, the facilities and the implements that facilitate engagement. You have those type of movement activities that are related to nature. You have dance, or aquatic movements, their organization, implements facilities of engagement. And you have the factors that influence human movement behavior. And with this, you can see that there are also, for as with every discipline of knowledge, research and knowledge development, the frontiers of knowledge in the discipline. If you look at it this way, in addition to the applications to life in society, there are several authorities, including this lecturer, that are studying these issues we are talking about. And physical education is very rich in focus, in body of knowledge, and in applications to life in society. And as a discipline of knowledge, I stand here before you to tell you that one of the characteristics of the disciplines of knowledge, as we have it in this humanities and the social sciences is that they have a logical sequence. And as it is well known, and as it has been studied with epistemologists that have looked at this, the logical sequence is a product of what it is in the parent discipline. So if you ask, what is the logical sequence of human movement or physical education, that should not be us a problem. But let me say that generally speaking, the logical sequence of the totality of knowledge starts from the physical sciences, progressing to the biological, the social sciences, and the humanities. As we have stated here, since these are the sources of knowledge that give life and growth to the discipline, knowledge-based discipline of physical education, that we will soon come to know that it is no more physical education when you look at it as a discipline of knowledge. What is predominant in all of this? It is the phenomenon of human movement. And therefore, we are going to arrive at the road junction where we dispense physical education as the representative nomenclature of our discipline of knowledge to accept that it must be something else and work without it. It could be human movement study, true or false. It could be human kinetics. It could be kinesiology. These ones are different from the pedagogically connotated physical education that has limited our growth and development. But we thank them for giving us the foundation from which we sprang up. But now we have run and developed beyond that area. So, we are, thank you. So, the logical sequence of physical education from where we are now is that it must be the forms of movement, the physical and natural sciences of human movement, the biological sciences, the social sciences of human movement, and the applications to life in society. We'll move faster, where we will say that please come to and that is the endowment with unique concepts of vocabulary. Our field, because of the slowness in articulating the architecture of epistemology, has been using the language of the different disciplines. It doesn't make us become esoteric experts. Therefore, the challenge we have is to evolve our own vocabulary or concept, or what we can call our own language. So, now, some people have concerned themselves with this search. And McKinsey, OJEME, 1990 and 2010 have dealt with these issues. Come to the fact that kinesis should be the word. Kinesis is the word that enables us to conjugate this discipline of knowledge. After all, we have human kinetics. And if it is so, when we now rearrange our body of knowledge using the derived knowledge logical structure from the parent disciplines, which I spoke about earlier, we now know that this thing we are calling physical education, you have mechanical and biomechanical kinesis or biokinesis. Some people are looking at the so that is it. And when you speak like that, you elevate yourself. And they will say, what did he say? What does he say? And you square your shoulder, you lift your top because you have not gone beyond the ordinary. This is what we are pursuing. And this is what we is very. So you have a medical kinesis, you have a social kinesis, don't you see? You have a philokinesis, you have a occupational kinesis, and all this will be dealing with the applications to life in society. And from what we have seen, ladies and gentlemen, we can see that the application of the concept of the area of philosophy known as epistemology, put this with the structure of knowledge in general, we have been able to bring it to bear on our disorganized field of study, and we have not meaning and sense into it. We have shaped it, we have put a logical structure into it, we have attempted to develop a vocabulary for it. So, this is where we are. This is what we must do, and this is what we must devote our efforts to achieve. So that it will be better with us. We now have a deeper understanding of the subject matter of our discipline, since we now have the discipline of knowledge. We now deepen our conceptual development of the vocabulary or language to communicate the meaning in the subject. When we do this, the study of this subject will not just dive into education with due respect, or dive into teacher education. It will be looking at the diversification of the applications, and also it will be looking at the holistic nature of each body of knowledge. And you know that when you are deep in the knowledge of your subject matter, your capacity to apply it to future service will also be enhanced. This has been our problem. I have observed that our people dive into sports as skills. They say it's a sportsman. It's doing fitness. So it's deeper than that. We must seek greater meaning into those experiences. That is what this lecture is emphasizing. And to pursue this development, ladies and gentlemen, you will agree with me that there's a compelling need to reform the curriculum of physical education that we are currently using to develop our human resources and also to do our research. And I believe that I saw this compelling need, and I believe that when we reform our curriculum, we will reduce or remove the contraction of each knowledge application and deepen our subject matter knowledge. And you can see where this will lead us. And you will agree with me that with this brief talk into the knowledge domain, or the emergent knowledge domain of what we call physical education, that is now known as human kinetics or kinesiology or human movement studies. We have been afforded this associated nomenclature. We have detached education and liberated to pursue other areas of knowledge application, while education remains an important field of study. This is what we need to do, and this will help us to develop greater experts. When you see people discussing sports on television, they are not telling you about the goal scorer and who won the match. They don't deepen it. They don't go to the epistemology. They don't apply the epistemology of human movement. I mean, man in motion in the Premier League, is it not part of what we are looking at? So, where is the social kinesis? Where is the philosophy? Where is the policy analysis? All of these put together help us to explain why one team is doing better than the other. Barcelona, eliminating Barcelona in the European League. He said, we can be training team, but what happened yesterday? 7-0. So that man needs to be watched. We need to be fine-tuning the tactics of his team and talk less, focus on his goals and mission and how he's going to perform. That is part of applying the epistemology of human kinetics. Concluding remarks, ladies and gentlemen, from the comprehensive analysis of the epistemological and occupational metamorphosis of physical education, which we have undertaken in this lecture, we can see that the need to review the school curriculum at all levels has become very compelling. We need to develop a subject matter-based curriculum. What they call physical education curriculum in primary and secondary schools is just a selection of activities. Compared to the social studies, compared to the sciences, which they learn in primary school. My granddaughter, who is 5, can start some nails. He can make some construction. That's a product of what is learned. But what do we learn in so-called physical education in primary and secondary school? And because of this limitation, their entry point to the undergraduate curriculum is lower. And in the university, we are teaching fundamental skills. Men who should be doing that, to be dealing with advanced issues. And also, rather than do a program where students are awarded BA physical education, we should award, develop programs that enable us to award BA, BSc. You can see that from our analysis of the epistemological architecture of science and for development. It is based on a synopsis. It's a multi-discipline. It's not a unitary discipline like others. Inside it, it's like wearing a multicolored attire. But when they show you into the dress or gown, it's a gown. You don't call it multicolored. No, it's a gown. That is it. So, it's part of the fact that we use the knowledge from the sciences, the humanities, and the social sciences to understand the phenomenon of man's emotion. It has now formed a unified body of knowledge with an evolving conceptual structure and epistemological architecture. So we need to dwell on this. That is the way forward. And so that when we graduate somebody, his level of knowledge is comparable to somebody with a bachelor's degree in sociology, in politics and political science and administration. Not that we just dive into skill acquisition as if we didn't go to school. So this is my worry, and this is what this lecture attempted to do. I know that some people will be saying, make me see the comments. Where has it been done anywhere in the world? You know my response to those people? We are knowledgeable enough. Let us show the light. Let us show the way. And let others follow. Ladies and gentlemen, Madam Vice Chancellor, Waweso. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. I want to acknowledge, first of all, this lecture is dedicated to my distinguished wife. That aha exclamation. If I said aha, this is my wife. I didn't say it out though. I want to assure you that it remains so detailed. I love you. And to my children and grandchildren, my brothers and sisters who are here present, distinguished members of the faculty led by our energetic and ebullient and philosophically driven team. I thank you. Thank you so much. You have been very useful and supportive. And your beautiful wife, she was somewhere. Always stick together so that, because she's very illuminating. And all of you are very much welcome. greet all of you. I may not remember all your names, but please pardon me, you are all acknowledged. In Jesus' mighty name. I want to say sorry that I was sitting down and now look at 70 years is real. Because at the time for approving this lecture, first and foremost, but at the time it was coming, the atmosphere was very cloudy and speaking metaphorically. It appears the society was becoming unstable, full of uncertainty. But Madam Vice Chancellor saw it and said, even if other lectures are temporarily better, this validatory lecture must go. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. I'm inspired by all of you. And I will continue to be inspired by all of you. Thank you. I don't know what else to say. I will be happy here. So now this lecture took place is by the grace of God.
Hi!
Photographer. Thank you.
Amen. Dr. Mrs. OJEME, when I saw this man throw kiss, I wonder what you could do behind the doors. In that other room. So thank you very much, the lecturer, for today. The purpose of this lecture is to examine the epistemological and occupational metamorphosis of physical education as a trigger for reforming its school curriculum. As a subject, physical education has been experienced as mere physical activity, sports, and games in schools for over the years. Contrary to this perception of physical education as just mere sports and games activity, a more critical study and analysis of the subject reveals that it is indeed a knowledge-based discipline that focuses on man and his movement behavior. This concept of physical education as a knowledge-based discipline enables a more purposeful and meaningful understanding of human movement behavior. The factors that enhance or limit man's movement capabilities, as well as ramifying applications to life in society, including but not limited to social economic activities. Therefore, the lecturer has been able to convince us that the undergraduate tertiary education curriculum must not remain monolistic, but should actually begin to have other relevancies to the subject. There is therefore a persuasive imperative to reform the social school curriculum in physical education to engender a deeper knowledge of its subject matter for greater social relevance in Nigeria and globally. In the same vein, its fundamental principles should form the architecture of the teaching and learning processes at all levels of the educational system. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Professor OJEME has actually showed to us how he has been professing over the years. Congratulations. When I knew this man, who is now 70 years old, he used to run through the staircase up and down. But you see what age does to you. So please, enjoy it while it lasts. So, on behalf of the university, we want to sincerely thank you and give you this award, and I hope that you will cherish it for delivering a wonderful valedictory lecture. Thank you very much. We'll take a few recognitions. We welcome very especially the family
welcome Professor Aderemi Aisien, who is warming up for her inaugural lecture in a few weeks. Professor Aisien is of the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology. We welcome very specially Professor Eki Ogre, UAB Chair. Welcome, ma. We welcome Professor Mrs. Kadiri. Welcome, ma. We welcome Venerable Professor Permanent Secretary in the Edo State Civil Service. We welcome, ma. We welcome Jemele PhD Products of the valedictory lecturer. Thank you for robing and coming to support very strong J-Women. We welcome Gloria Gottspar. Professor Esther Okobia, we welcome you specially. We also welcome Sir Christopher Ijegede, KFJ. We welcome Dr. Lady C.I. Ijegede, JP. You're welcome, ma. We welcome Mrs. Asikia Ndidi. We also welcome Mrs. Celestina Aleto. We welcome very specially